Today I have the pleasure of speaking with Christopher Schneitz, and we're talking about the three brains. There's a science behind this, and he is currently writing a book about the heart and gut brain connection within the body. Why don't we know these things at school? Because I think this lead in terms of the information that you're sharing in your book is not only good for relationships, but it's really good for our communication.
In my research, I became aware 100 years ago we almost disconnected science. We have psychology, psychiatry, that's only talking about the head. We have 80 specialities about the body, if you go to the medical science. And actually we were split up in parts. When you go to a physiotherapist, psychologist, or whatever, they only look at one part of you. Almost nobody looks at the holistic part anymore. And I came aware that if you don't look holistically, people get stuck in issues. That's how I came to it as a therapist, that people kept stuck. And from there I started thinking, if people are stuck, say, in their head, or people are stuck in their heart, or people are stuck in their gut, how does it work? Then I became aware that actually they're actually brains, 100,000 brain cells, 500 million brain cells, like a cat brain, interconnected with nerve systems and other kind of communication systems. And I thought, how come nobody ever thought about this? Now, Darwin writes about it 150 years ago and someone got dismissed. But when I exercised with people with it, on students, clients and whatever, I came aware it works. And from there I researched and came aware actually it's true.
People are becoming more and more aware that there's more neuron connections and receptors in our gut brain, as you call it, than there is in our head. So how come people don't know that and understand that? And how do your insights in your book sort of point to this direction?
Now, why we don't know? Because actually, when you go to a special medical, they look at the gut, intestines, and they look, say, at the physiology, what's happening there, digestion or those kind of things. And we have 1.5 kilo bacteria there. Without that, we would not survive one day, because they are responsible for digestion and they communicate with us. They now make links as Alzheimer. When you have Alzheimer's, Parkinson, do you know you have also gut issues?
Lead to that potential.
Yeah, and they have the same issues there as in your brain. So that it has connections now. Based on that the brain is here, this is actually the first brain in the brain that is in charge.
So it's a survival instinct that kicks in from here and actually shuts down the overthinking.
Absolutely, it shuts down. Because this part actually has one responsibility: survive. That means fight and flight, immobilize, that means faint and fall down, or of course when you're hungry or thirsty. And the last one is of course reproduction. Do you like to have a lot of feminine energy in you, Bess?
Well, I think I've been said to have had feminine energy, right? But that's probably because I've grown up with 3 younger sisters, for example. But I don't think most men would be comfortable to saying or admitting that they have a feminine energy.
Yeah. But just imagine that you would say to those guys, hey, would you like to have a little bit more heart energy?
That makes a lot more sense for me. I could be a lot more heart.
Yeah, a little bit more compassion, I would say yes. And just imagine the flip side. If you say to a woman, would you like to have a lot of manly, masculine energy? Now, most girls would say no.
Frown.
A frown, no, please not. But if you say, would you like to have a little bit more survival me instinct, to take care a little bit better of yourself? All the girls would say, yes, please. And so I also advocate, let's call that masculine, feminine, throw it away and call it gut, heart, brain energy. So we also can have much more gender equality on the workspace and in normal life.
Probably less confusion too, because sometimes if women are being sold the idea of having more masculine energy, but they still want the man to be the man.
Rescuer. But also that helps in that part. And when you look at schools, we're all put in stereotype roles. Girls should do this, boys should do that. If you're now in Europe, where I'm being born, or in Australia or whatever. So but the moment you say, we educate you on gut, heart and brain level, you can become much more complete.
How can people get in touch with you or connect with you, Chris?
That's Peel Academy, Personal Excellence and Leadership Academy. That's my business website, or Facebook, Christopher Snijders, and you can find me and you find all the things there.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Tadros for Undercurrent.